I absolutely love intermittent fasting. It's been a game changer for me, my clients, and so many others who've struggled with energy, weight, and overall health. But even though it's a powerful tool, it's also something that can easily be done the wrong way. And when that happens, it can work against your goals instead of helping you reach them. Today I'm sharing the 15 most common intermittent fasting mistakes I see and how to avoid them. If you're new here, I'm Autumn, certified clinical nutritionist with a master's in nutrition and human performance. I'm here to help you feel good through food, and intermittent fasting is one of my favorite tools. But you've got to do it right. Let's dive in. 1. Not drinking enough water when you're fasting. Your body still needs hydration, and even more so because you're not getting any water from food. Most people don't realize that about 20 to 30% of our daily water intake comes from what we eat. So if you're skipping meals, you're already at a deficit. Add to that the natural dehydration that occurs overnight while you sleep, and you're waking up in a pretty thirsty state. This is why it's essential to start your day with a big glass of water. I recommend 16 to 20 ounces right after waking up, before your coffee, before anything else. Water helps kickstart your metabolism, flush out toxins, and prevent common fasting side effects like headaches, fatigue, and brain fog. And while keto coffee is great, coffee is a diuretic. It can dehydrate you further. So if coffee is the first thing you reach for, you're setting yourself up for energy dips and unnecessary cravings later in the day. Prioritize water first, then enjoy your keto coffee a bit later. 2. Jumping in too hard, too fast. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is trying to jump into a long fast right away, like a 16:8 or 20:4, without preparing their body first. If you're coming from a diet that's high in sugar, refined carbs, or processed foods, your body is used to quick energy hits. Suddenly removing those can cause serious crashes, intense cravings, and even mood swings. Fasting is a metabolic shift. It takes time to teach your body to use fat for fuel instead of constantly relying on carbs. You're not just skipping breakfast, you're retraining your mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses in your cells, to become more efficient. And that doesn't happen overnight. Start slowly. Try a 12-12 window and gradually decrease your eating window over a few weeks. You can also start by simply pushing your breakfast later each day. This gentle approach allows your body to adapt without overwhelming your system. And if you feel fatigued or irritable, it's a sign your body may need more time. 3. Forgetting electrolytes. Most people think hydration equals water. But in reality, your body needs electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium to stay balanced. These minerals regulate muscle contractions, nerve function, blood pressure, and even your heartbeat. When you're fasting and not eating, you're also not replenishing these essential nutrients. Combine that with increased water intake, and you might be flushing out even more electrolytes. This can lead to symptoms like headaches, muscle cramps, dizziness, or feeling off. A simple fix? Add a pinch of Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt to your water in the morning. You can also sip on a clean electrolyte drink. Just be sure it's sugar-free and doesn't contain artificial ingredients. Electrolytes also help support hormonal function, especially your adrenal glands and stress response, which are both impacted by fasting. Balancing your electrolytes means better energy, fewer cravings, and a smoother fasting experience overall. 4. Not eating enough during your eating window. There's a common misconception that intermittent fasting is about eating less. But in reality, it's about eating smarter. If you undereat during your eating window, you're setting yourself up for failure during your fast. Your hunger hormone ghrelin doesn't just go away because you're trying to lose weight. It needs to be satisfied by nutrient-dense, filling meals. When you consistently eat too little, your body starts to think it's in a state of famine. That slows your metabolism, increases cortisol, your stress hormone, and disrupts thyroid function. It also makes your next fast miserable. You'll be irritable, distracted, and far more likely to break your fast early or binge later. Instead, Focus on eating until you feel truly satisfied, not stuffed, but comfortably full. Prioritize protein, healthy fats, fiber, and complex carbs from vegetables. A well-balanced meal signals your body that it's safe and nourished, which helps regulate hormones and supports sustainable fat loss. 5. Eating a high-carb diet while fasting. One of the goals of intermittent fasting is to lower insulin levels so your body can tap into stored fat. But if your eating window is filled with high-carb meals, even healthy carbs like oats, rice, or fruit, you're likely keeping your insulin elevated and preventing fat burning. High-carb meals cause blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes. That leads to hunger, cravings, and fatigue, making it harder to stay in a fasted state the next day. Not to mention, when carbs dominate your plate, there's less room for the satiating foods, like protein and fat, that help regulate appetite and hormones. You don't have to go full keto, but focus on balancing your meals. Load up on veggies, quality proteins, healthy fats, and slow-digesting carbs in moderation. This approach supports blood sugar stability, keeps you full longer, and enhances the fat-burning benefits of fasting. Breaking your fast with a small meal or snack. A small snack to ease into eating might sound like a good idea, but it can confuse your body. After fasting, your system is primed for nourishment. Giving it just a few bites of food can send mixed signals. Your body gets a taste of energy, but not enough to feel satisfied. This keeps your hunger hormone ghrelin activated, and your body may interpret the small intake as a sign of starvation. This often leads to overeating later, or feeling ravenous during your next fast. Instead, break your fast with a full, balanced meal. Think a protein smoothie, eggs with avocado, or a chicken salad with olive oil. A complete meal tells your body it's safe and fed, helping turn off those intense hunger signals and stabilize your blood sugar. And if you're someone who prefers smoothies, I have a hormone-supportive smoothie recipe linked below. It's ideal for breaking your fast without the crash. Adding collagen to your keto coffee. Collagen has become a trendy add-in for keto coffee, and while it's great for skin, joints, and gut health, it does break a fast. Collagen is a protein made up of amino acids. When consumed during your fasting window, it activates gluconeogenesis, a process where amino acids are converted into glucose. This can trigger an insulin response, pulling you out of your fasted state. So while it's not a full meal, it still interferes with your body's clean fasting benefits. If you're aiming for autophagy, fat burning, or blood sugar regulation, collagen during your fast is counterproductive. Enjoy your collagen, just save it for your eating window. You can stir it into your smoothie, mix it into a warm drink, or have it with a meal to still get all the benefits without breaking your fast. Being too rigid with your eating window. Intermittent fasting works best when it's flexible and realistic. Life happens, dinner with friends, family events, travel, and if your eating window is too rigid, you're more likely to abandon fasting altogether. The key is to treat fasting like a lifestyle, not a strict rule book. If your normal eating window is 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., but your weekend dinner reservation starts at 8:30 p.m., don't panic. Just shift your window later that day. Fasting is about the total time you give your body to rest and digest, not punishing yourself for living life. Being adaptable helps you stay consistent over the long run, which is far more important than being perfect. Consistency beats rigidity every time when it comes to sustainable health habits. Drinking alcohol outside your eating window. This one surprises people, but alcohol, even in small amounts, breaks your fast. It contains calories, affects liver function, and triggers metabolic responses that interfere with fat burning and hormone balance. Even though it's liquid, it's still processed by the body as energy. Drinking outside your eating window disrupts your fasted state and can set back your progress. If you choose to drink, keep it within your eating window, ideally with food, and limit intake to minimize the impact. And be mindful of how alcohol affects your hunger and sleep. It can increase appetite, reduce willpower, and negatively impact sleep quality. all of which can make fasting more difficult the next day. Not getting enough sleep. This might seem unrelated, but sleep is deeply connected to how well intermittent fasting works for you. Poor sleep raises cortisol, your stress hormone, and increases ghrelin, your hunger hormone, making you feel hungrier and more likely to break your fast early. Lack of sleep also disrupts insulin sensitivity, messes with your mood, reduces willpower, and can lead to increased cravings, especially for sugar and carbs. All of these make fasting harder and less effective. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Keep a consistent bedtime, reduce screen time before bed, and create a wind-down routine that helps your body fully recover. When you sleep well, fasting becomes significantly easier, and your results will reflect that. Overexercising while fasting is a common mistake, especially with high-intensity workouts. Fasted training can lead to fatigue, dizziness, or muscle breakdown due to depleted glycogen stores. Consider lower-impact exercises during fasting hours and save intense workouts for after refueling. Using fasting to compensate for overeating creates an unhealthy cycle of deprivation and overindulgence. Fasting should support long-term health, not be a punishment. Consistency and sustainability are key. Return to regular fasting after overeating and focus on nutrient-dense meals. Ignoring protein intake during intermittent fasting can lead to hunger, cravings, and muscle loss. Protein is essential for hormone balance, immune health, and satiety. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal to maintain energy and lean muscle. Fasting without a plan can lead to poor food choices and stress. Structure matters. Plan meals in advance to ensure nutrient intake and avoid decision fatigue. Adapt your fasting window to your schedule for intentional fasting. Being obsessed with the clock during fasting can increase stress. Fasting should support natural rhythms, not impose strict rules. Listen to your body's hunger cues and be flexible with your fasting practice for sustainability.